So this right here is the brand new EXT14 crossbody sling from Tactical Geek. It just launched on Kickstarter. I'm gonna put a link to the Kickstarter campaign down in the video description. I'll also make it a pinned comment as well in case you wanna check that campaign out for yourself. Now, Tactical Geek is advertising this as a travel organizer, an EDC organizer, a crossbody sling, EDC pouch. A lot of ways to describe this very versatile little crossbody sling. Now, I've actually had it for about the last 6 weeks, so I've gotten to put it through some real world use. And in today's video, of course, I'm gonna unpack all the details of the EXT14. I'm gonna show you the ins and outs. I'm gonna pack it out for you, and of course, I'm gonna share my experience on what it's been like to use the EXT14 in the real world. Now, with all that being said, let's get into it. What's up, friends? I'm John and this is Unpack'd. If you're new here, welcome. Now, if you're already familiar with my channel, you know that I've been really getting into crossbody slings this year. I've been using the TomTalk T37, I've been using the Air Street Sling, and this Tactical Geek EXT14 is along those lines, kind of like the same footprint, but a more tactical take on that everyday carry sling style of bags. So the name of the company is Tactical Geek, and of course they make tactical looking gear, and it's no exception on the EXT14. Now, what gives it a tactical aesthetic? Well, you're met with that loop field right up front, very common in tactical gear. And then you have lots of pockets, elastic loops, places to clip things, MOLLE webbing on the back, just real tactical. Even right down to the strap itself, you have more loops to attach things. You have a D-ring. I mean, just real overall, very things that you would see common in tactical gear. Even right down to the zipper pulls with the heat shrink. Now, these are actually very functional because if you're wearing gloves or anything of that nature, they're very easy to operate. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and throw the tech specs for you up on the screen. Please feel free to give that a pause if you wanna get a better look at any of those numbers. But overall, standing at about 9 inches tall and about 6 inches wide, is gonna be a fairly compact crossbody sling. Now, there's no official dimensions mentioned on the website as far as capacity is concerned, but just giving it the old college eyeball, the old college try, from the look and feel test, I would say it's about 1.5 liters of volume. But you can really overstuff this sling because of all the attachment points and pockets and slip pockets and things of that nature. So I think comfortably about 1.5 liters, but you could probably push this up to about 3 liters if you really want to overload this sling. Now, it's going to be available in 6 different colors and a couple of different material options like X-Pack. What I have for you right here is this kind of like black ultra grid. It is a T60 nylon material, so it's going to be super resistant to pet hair and dust. Very easy to clean. It's very soft, very malleable. I really like the pattern. It's got these square white lines and then subtle black diamond pattern on the backside, kind of similar to what you're going to see on the inside. Now, I'll go over in some of the exterior features of this bag. Of course, you can see this giant fidlock buckle right up top, making this kind of like a little satchel. It closes up this way. Now, I'm not a big fan of the red pull tab, but that's not something that Tactical Geek offers. I think this particular style of fidlock comes with the red pull tab. It doesn't really go with this color scheme in my opinion, because you have that orange 210 nylon interior and then this red tab, and it doesn't really mix well in my opinion with the black and white and the orange interior. But again, that's something that came from Fidlock and not necessarily Tactical Geek. And once you open up that fidlock, you do again have that 210 high density nylon. It's got like a nice diamond pattern, kind of similar to what you would see in alpaca bags. And then of course you have another loop field here again for attaching patches, other gear that is hook lined, things of that nature. So you have double loop fields on the bag itself. Underneath the loop field, you have 2 diagonal slip pockets that don't have a lot of volume, but they're there. They're also obstructed by the buckle itself, so you're kind of limited to what items you can put into those slip pockets, and I'll demonstrate that for you once we get into the pack out section. On each side of the bag, you do have attachment points. You have a nylon webbing here, and then on this side, you have an elastic webbing with a nylon webbing down below for you to attach gear. And I think Tactical Geek also sells like a patch panel that you can put right across the top, so you can attach right across there as well. You do have 2 zippers here at the top and the side. They're both White KK Aqua Guard zippers, so it's going to help you with some overall water protection, including the material itself too. It's also got a coating on it. It's going to give you some pretty good weather resistance. Of course, it's not going to be waterproof. The only branding you're going to find on the bag is a small Tactical Geek tag there. I like that it's black and white and it matches the bag itself. And on the back, you're going to have 2 rows of MOLLE, making this little pouch easily clippable to outside of a backpack. You can use MOLLE sticks to attach it to your hip, make it a hip pack. And up top you have 2 attachment points for the strap to get it on and off fairly easy. I like this attachment system. It's just using these aluminum clips get like gator style clips to clip in and out. I like that better than some of the gated hooks that you would find on most slings. So it makes it really easy to turn this into a pouch, a hip pack, or an accessory by removing the straps. Now the strap itself is a 3/4 inch strap, so it's not that full inch strap. I would typically like at least a 1 inch strap for weight distribution, but like I mentioned earlier, you do have loops there for more gear attachment. You have a D-ring here also for attachment. Now it is a closed loops management system, so you have no dangle. And this D-ring here is actually like an adjustment ring. It helps you adjust the strap up and down. So I really like the functionality of this strap. It actually works quite well. I just wish that it were a little bit bigger, at least a 1 inch. So it's pretty thin, especially with this little pouch here. You can really pack it out. I think a 1 inch strap would be a little bit better for weight distribution. And the final pocket on the outside is going to be on the lid itself here. Again, you have another YKK AquaGuard zipper, and it reveals a small pocket that's going to be the internal of the lid there. So a great place to put your quicker access items like your AirPods if you want, chapstick, things of that nature, things you need quick access to right at the top of your sling. Now getting into the interior of this bag is actually very simple layout. Deep down in there you just have one stretchy pocket on the back side of the sling, and on this side you have a card holder to put cards. That's actually a nifty little thing I've never seen on another sling, so that's something that I utilize because I usually travel with just 4 cards. So I have 4 dummy cards there, and this little wallet, you can slip your cards down into there. And then you just use the pull tab to bring up the cards when you need them, push them back down when you don't. It's a really cool feature, probably my favorite thing about this bag. It has basically a built-in card wallet. And they kind of advertise it as a travel wallet as well, because this pouch will actually block all the RFIDs. That's right, it's an RFID blocking sling. So anything you put on the inside, like a passport, your credit cards, anything of that nature is RFID protected. So if that's something you value and something you want, you're definitely going to get it right here with the EXT14. Now the stretch pocket on the back is fairly loose. It's a nice material, it feels real premium, feels real nice, not real cheap, but it's super loose. And because of the internal volume being kind of thin, I don't really see the benefit of having this big mesh pocket in here. And I'll demonstrate that for you here. It's like when you load something, like let's say you're going to load up your passport. So I have my Wayfinder passport wallet. You can put that back in there and it keeps it organized, but again, you don't have a lot of volume. So even if I were to put a bulkier item in there, it's just still gonna kind of take up the entire space. As you can see, the mesh pocket just kind of hangs out and does its own thing. So I don't really see the benefit of this mesh pocket. I think I would have preferred some material pockets without stretch to keep smaller, flatter items more organized instead of them having flop around. But then again, that's just me. I just don't see the real benefit of that mesh pocket. Now there's no other internal organization in this pocket, so you have more room to put your everyday carry items like a pair of sunglasses will fit down easily in there. And of course your cell phone, this is a 15 Pro Max, will easily fit back in that pocket as well. And you still have a little bit more room down on this side if you wanted to add more items. Again, that wallet being there is a great way to save space. It's built in and you can still add something else. Now it's not gonna be quite big enough for a bottle of water. Maybe if you lose the sunglasses, you can squeeze one in there. But again, you still have a little bit of flexibility with a little bit more room. Now, when you get into the secondary compartment, it's actually just one big pocket. There's no organization in there, just a big dumb pocket. It runs the entire length of the bag. Now, there's 2 ways to get into this pocket, from the top and also from the side. It's double zippered opening to the same compartment. Now, if you're asking yourself, besides having this cool look of a side zipper and a top zipper, what purpose would that serve? So if you're wearing this as a crossbody sling from the vertical orientation, you want to access your gear from the top, you can here. But let's say you attach this sling to a backpack and you swing your backpack over to the side, and it's going to be orientated in this manner, and you can easily access that pocket as well from the side. So again, just a little bit extra functionality, flexibility if you mount it to the outside of a backpack. Of course, if you're wearing crossbody, if you're wearing it as a hip pack, you still have access from the top. I mean, just different ways to get into this pocket. Overall, I think the look it gives the bag is pretty cool, having the double zipper. The functionality wise, that's going to be determined up to you if you find that useful or not. But to me, it doesn't hurt adding a zipper there to give double access. Now, it's important to point out that none of these pockets have dedicated volume. So the more you pack the main compartment, the tighter all the other pockets are going to become on this bag. So because I put bulkier items in there like my sunglasses in this main pocket, I chose to put my Anker Magsafe portable battery pack in that pocket down in there, my pocket knife, and as well as just my key fob items that I don't access too often down in there. There is no dedicated key leash on this sling. I think I would have preferred to see something on the inside with a key leash so you don't have to undo your keys every time. But just a big empty pocket, no other organization there. And you can already see that this little sling is starting to get packed out, but we still have more spots for gear. So you have these two slip pockets up front, and like I mentioned, they're kind of tight and they're obstructed by the buckle. Now they're not large enough to fit a field notes I tried or a notebook of that nature. So I just kind of restricted myself to using just the side compartment, which was okay for me. I just kept my Wuben G5 Flashlight on that front compartment there. But as you can see how limiting the buckle makes these two front pockets. So if you have super flat items, they'll fit in there if they're the right dimension, but also by packing the main compartment out, it doesn't allow very much flexibility for the kinds of items you will be able to fit. On the side, you do have that elastic loop and then the webbing at the bottom. I found that this was actually a great place to house my pen and my marker. They fit perfectly in this elastic loop and elastic side, and they're pretty secure there. I never had a problem with them coming out. Now on the outside webbing loop on this side is a great place where I chose to put my AirPods. So I keep my AirPods on a carabiner because I like to have them at a moment's notice in case I got to take a phone call, I got to jump in a meeting. I have my AirPods there. I don't have to dig into my bag to look for those AirPods. So I just clip them on there, and quick access, easy access. I know where they are and I can grab them quickly. Then of course up top with the lube field, you can add a little bit of personality to your bag, dress it up the way you want. I have some Dan Matsuda animal crackers there, give it a little bit of flair, give it a little personality to the bag, make it a lot less tactical looking with animal crackers on there. And lastly, the top pocket up front, I would put things in there like my chapstick and my eye drops, something that I need quicker access to and I didn't want getting lost into the main cavity of the pouch. But as you can see, when you open up this pouch, because the lid flips over, this very top port is almost unusable, very flat. So you're really limited to the space of this pocket here. And if you were to expand the lid, because it does have some expansion, that portion of usable space gets smaller and smaller as you expand the lid. So I don't really think you'd be in a situation where you have to expand the lid very often, but just note that when you do expand this lid upwards, you're gonna lose volume in that top lid portion. So even expand it fully up, I barely got room for my chapstick in there. So this is something to keep in mind. I'm not quite sure if the expansion functionality is really useful on a sling this size, but who knows, you may need to put a taller item in there an occasion or two and you have that flexibility. It's something that during my testing I never used. I kind of just treated this as my everyday carry sling. So about that 1.5 liters is where I felt best, and it's fully packed out there, and I can still access everything without it being super tight where I really had to pull stuff out to get access to other items. So everything just fit the way it was there. But again, you still have space to clip more items. You can stuff more stuff on this side. You can clip stuff to the strap. Like, you can really start to load out this small little sling. But to make it more usable and more user-friendly, I just keep it limited to the items that I have here. Anything more than that, then it just becomes unwieldy and difficult to use in my opinion. So even though you might want to take advantage of every single little spot, every single little clip, it's probably best that you just keep it to the bare essentials and maybe just a few items more. So when it comes down to comfort for the EXT14, I think generally it's going to be very comfortable because of its limited size. Now, because you can pack it out and really stuff this bag with all the attachment points on the shoulder strap and pockets on the front, elastic webbing on the side, yes, it could get really unwieldy, and at that point it could become comfortable. So you only have the 3/4 inch strap. I would have liked to have seen a 1 inch strap on this, even though it's only 1.5 liters, because you can stuff this out, and somebody may potentially will. I think a larger strap would have been a little bit more beneficial. Now, for some things that I really enjoyed about this bag is its overall just different look and vibe. It sets itself from all the other slings on the market. I guess there's tactical slings and other things, but crossbody wise, it has a very unique look to it. I love the slant pockets on the front. I love the fidlock buckle up top, and I just like the overall crossbody style carry. So aesthetically, it's nice. It's not gonna be for everybody, but for me, I really did enjoy the overall tactical vibe of this little crossbody sling. Another pro to this bag is its overall versatility, being able to wear a crossbody over your neck, clip it to your backpack, clip it to your belt loop, just lots of ways to incorporate this into your carry, and I like the versatility of the bag overall. And lastly, even though there's tons of places for you to clip things onto this bag, I appreciated the bag's overall simple layout internally and allowing me to put things and pack things the way I wanted it to. A lot of times I find with tactical gear, there's lots of little pen slots, lots of little pockets, lots of little things for you to put pocket knives, flashlights, you know, first aid kits, that sort of thing. And I appreciated the overall simple layout on the inside and leaving the tacticoolness to it to the exterior. Now, no bag is perfect, and there's some things that I didn't enjoy about this bag. In particular is some of the pocketing. Now, this is not really like a Tactical Geek problem here. It's more tactical bags in general. Sometimes there's just more pockets and zippers and molly in places that it limits the overall functionality of certain things. In case in point, the front pocket, having the buckle come right across the center of it really limited what I could use these two slip pockets on the front. So I just carried my flashlight. Now, that was fine, but it wasn't wide enough to fit a field notes or anything of that nature. And then the buckle itself coming right through the middle, it just really limited that front pocket overall. So because none of the pockets have dedicated volume, I felt that this little sling can get very tight very fast, especially if you're trying to go full tactical and put flashlights, pocket knives, and all sorts of things. It just made this thing feel really tight. So I think for the bare essentials, it's gonna work, but if you're really trying to take advantage of every single molly, every single elastic loop, every single slip pocket, this thing is gonna be borderline unusable if you pack it that tight. Another area I felt could use some improvement was the overall strap. Now, it is soft, it is that nicer premium seatbelt style webbing, so I do like that, but I would have liked to have had at least a 1-inch strap, something a little bit thicker to provide a little bit more support. Not that it's uncomfortable, but it just feels a little thin, and especially being able to really add some weight to this bag, I think it would have helped with a little bit more weight distribution in my opinion. But I do love the fact that it's removable, so you can always upgrade later and add your own strap later on down the line. So that is a plus, it is removable, but maybe next time or in a future version of the bag, we get a 1-inch strap. So overall, I think the EXT14 is a nice little addition to anybody's carry. Of course, with the tactical look and vibe, it's gonna be a turnoff for some, but if you're into that, you're gonna be quite surprised by this bag. But even if you're not into that super tactical look, I think the functionality may also draw you in, being able to use this on the outside of a backpack, clip it to your hip as a hip pack, and also wear it as a crossbody sling, using it as a tech pouch, those sorts of things, a travel wallet. The versatility alone may be something that you may want to explore with the EXT14. Now, because of its size, it's a little small for me to carry for travel. I tend to go towards a larger sling for travel, but maybe you throw this into your luggage or into your backpack, you use this as your destination. It does have the RFID protection, so it gives you a little bit of security as well. But I like that Tactical Geek took a swing at something that we've already seen on the market and added their own spin and added their own flavor. It has a unique look and it has pretty cool functionality. So like I mentioned, link in the description if you want to check out the Kickstarter campaign. I want to say thank you to Tactical Geek for sending the EXT14 out for me to test and review. But now I want to know what you think of this tactical crossbody sling. Is this a style that you typically are drawn to? Would you want to pick up something like this in this design language? What do you think about the overall functionality of being able to carry in multiple different ways, you know? Is that something you would use, or you think that nobody really uses those features? Now, I haven't used it on a backpack or as a hip pack myself, and I don't think I actually will, but having the option to might be functional, but who knows? But let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Now, if you want to know anything more about the EXT14 from Tactical Geek, please feel free to put your questions down in the comments. I respond to every single one. The goal of this channel is to help you find the right gear for you. So if you want to know something specific before you back this project, hit me up down in the comments and I'll be sure to answer you right away. Now, if you made it this far in this video, thank you so much for sticking around to the end. If you like this video or if you find this information helpful in any way, please be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, as that directly supports me and the channel. But anyway, thanks for checking out the video, and hopefully I can see you again on my next review.